Still recording is not started. Okay. So good afternoon, all of you. So this lecture we will start our new chapter, that is chapter number 3, finite element method. Okay. So in morning lecture we have seen that the remaining part of the second chapter. So in this lecture we will start our third chapter. Uh, in respect to as a mechanical engineer, this is a very much important chapter for us. So this is just introduction part of this FEM. This is not about the whole chapter regarding the finite element method. So I think in final year we will face such a subject which is named like a finite element analysis or method. Okay, so in this CAD/CAM only we will give introduction part of the this finite element method. Okay, so basically in the CAD/CAM first of all we have to go for the CAD, that is the design and drafting part. Afterwards, before going to direct manufacture and production, we have to just analyze whether that part is going to correct or wrong. Okay, so for that purpose, we are going to applying various FEM techniques and various analysis software. So let us we will see what is mean by a finite element method and what are the techniques for the same. Okay, so before starting the chapter, we will see a syllabus for this chapter. In this chapter, we will see a definition of the FEM, then what are the different types of the analysis for we are for the particular analysis. Then if
Sir, hello, sir.
हॅलो आवाज येतोय का अभिजित
हा येतोय
आवाज
सर.
कट होत होता का मगाशी
हा आवाज कट होता.
ओके ओके ठीक आहे आता क्लिअर येतोय का आवाज
हा यस सर.
okay so we will start from the first point so uh, in this chapter, we will see the definition part of the FEM, then types of the analysis, then terms used in FEM, then types of the elements, then what are the general steps in FEM, then what are the structure and thermal analysis for only one dimensional bar element. We are not going to see the for two dimensional and three dimensional. So in this chapter, we will see only related to the one dimensional analysis only and respect to the only structural and thermal analysis. We are not interested for the CFD analysis and any other analysis. Then last part, that is the introduction of the latest FEM software. What are the new software is coming to the industry? That software we will see the which software are the using for the CAD/CAM CA. Okay, so this is about the just overview about the this syllabus chapter. Then, first of all, what is mean by the finite? Finite word. Okay, finite element method. So, what is mean by finite? So, finite is nothing but any continuous object has an infinite degrees of freedom, and it's just not a possible to solve the problem in this infinite form. So, we have to break that infinite problem to the finite steps. Okay, so that will be better for our solution. Okay, so suppose one a simple bar element is there, one side fixed or one side open. So suppose that bar is having 100 meter length. So if you want to solve this problem, suppose I want to find out the substress and strain value from this free end. I am applying some unidirectional load on that free end. Suppose you are going to solving as a whole problem, so it will give suppose near about 80% accuracy. And suppose I want to go for the problem with FEM, then it will give a 95% accuracy. How? We will see in next part. Okay, so that is the benefit of the FEM. And one side by side disadvantages like that, it will take a more computational time, but it will give a better accuracy. Okay, so that accuracy will be improve our design as well as our production time also. Okay, so we will see one by one. So first part, the chapter, the definition of the FEM. Okay, so FEM is nothing but just it is a widely used one method. There is one method. Okay, FEM. So for solving the engineering problems and mathematical models. Okay, here that engineering problem is there. In that problem, we are going to this technique for solving the critical and quite difficult problem by using this finite element method. Okay, and the typical areas of the interest, including that traditional field of the structural matrix analysis, like heat and mass transfer problems, like electromagnetic potential problem. So, like this type of this problem, we are going to solving in this FEM. Okay, so and by using this method, we are going to solve the partial differential equation, and then we will get the some 2 or 3 solution. So in that solution, we are the using the best one, and the FEM is a particular numerical method for solving this partial differential equation. Okay, so in this 2 or 3 variables like x, y, z, u, v, w. Okay, so that problem will be subdivided a larger system into a smaller system. Okay, whatever that given one simple dimensional bar element, so 100-meter length. So first of all, my work is that I have to divide that bar into n number of parts. Okay, this is the first method, first step of this FEM method, and then I will go for the each element wise simulation. Okay, so this is called as a finite element. So basically, I will explain with the help of the figure. So wait, I will just. So basically, FEM nothing but we are going to just divide the one problem into n number of parts. Suppose this is my problem. Okay, so this is one dimensional bar element. Okay, so one end fixed and one end free. So this is force. I am applying some force. Okay, suppose first on our conventional method, I want to solve this problem. So I will take this whole element as a element one. Okay. So that requires less computational time, but it will provide a bad result. Means accuracy is less. Okay. Then suppose same problem I will take and I want to use FEM method. Okay. So suppose this is our original problem, one end fixed and one end free. Then in FEM, first step is we have to divide this problem into n number of parts. Okay, so that part considered as this element number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like this, you can divide this particular element, sorry, part into n number of element, and you can carry out the separate analysis for each and every element. Okay, means we can consider the stiffness matrix K1 for element K2, K3, K4. Like this, you can just remember whatever you are going to divide this part into n number of the elements. If you are dividing this part into greater number of the element, that implies you are going to better accuracy. Okay, but you will require more time for this analysis. Okay, if you are increasing element number then you will require more time. So like this way, you will get better accuracy, but you have to wait for that computational time. Okay, but you will get a better product result. So use of this FPM, you will improve your product design. Okay, so we will see with the one of the example. At the time of the example, I will explain how we are going to improve the design. Okay, so next point of this chapter means the first, second point of this chapter, and that is very important. And as per your knowledge, you just know what are the types of the analysis in this our FEM. Okay, so basic analysis is there. So first of all, we will see the linear static analysis, then non-linear analysis, then dynamic analysis, buckling analysis, thermal analysis, fatigue analysis, optimization techniques, CFD analysis, crash analysis, and ENVH analysis. So we will see one by one how we are going to using this different types of analysis in our CAD/CAM CAE system. Okay. So first of all, we will start from the first analysis, that is a linear static analysis. Okay. So this is quite similar about our engineering stress analysis curve. Yes, you might be studied in first year as well as the second year in MOM subject, in first year applied mechanics subject also. Okay, so stress versus strain curve. Now you can observe a straight line is follows elastic line. Okay, so after some point means ultimate stress is stress, that material follows non-linear natures. Okay, so actually that material follows this like fashion, like non-linear, but in software they are showing like only straight line. After failure also that line is showing a straight line. Okay, yes, I want to say suppose you are using MS material, okay, mild steel material for one of the product, and you are just applying 100 Newton load, and that material follows straight line, means not breakable up to this 80 Newton, and after that suppose that material is break ultimate strength yield strength, then material follows like this non-linear nature, and they are approaching to the non-returning form, is plastic zone. Okay, so actually this is your elastic zone and this is your plastic zone. Okay, so actually once material is a break at this ultimate or yield point, then that material is not regaining its origin position. Okay, this is actual graph, but in software nature, okay, this is the stress strain, this is material at the 80 Newton, and after the 100 Newton that material actually break. Okay, like this like this previous graph, but in this software manner they are not following this non-linear, they are just following the straight line. Okay, in calculation we know the after 80 Newton or after 100 Newton that material is a break failure. Okay, but in software nature they are showing just a straight line as a the graph of the linear static analysis. Okay, so this is the difference between the actual analysis and software nature. Okay, so you have to understand how to represent the a graphical way in material. So how to represent the stress versus strain diagram for the actual stress and software stress strain curve. Okay, so this straight line indicates the software nature, and this failure nature that indicates the actual stress curve strain nature. Okay, so like this stress is equal to capital E into strain is the equation of the straight line. If you consider as a straight line, then you know the straight line equation y is equal to mx passing through the origin. So in real life example, after crossing yield point, the material follows non-linear curve, but software follow a same straight line. Okay, so that is the difference. Then components breaks into two separate process of the crossing ultimate stress, but software based analysis never shows a failure in their fashion. Okay, so it shows single unbroken part into red color zone at the location of the failure. If you know in software,
हॅलो
जर
सर.
तुम्ही yes sir, yes,
सर तुम्ही तुम्ही ड्रॉ केलेला डायग्राम दिसते फक्त, बाकी दिसत नाही पीपीटी.
दिसत नाही का? वेट आता दिसते?
नाही दिसत.
दिसत नाही का? आता दिसते?
हा दिसते आता.
ओके, दिसते ना आता?
हा
ओके,
दिसते आता.
सो ओके. तर ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही एखाद्या सॉफ्टवेअर मध्ये बघितलं असेल तर डाव्या साईडला वरच्या कोपऱ्यामध्ये दे आर शोईंग लाईक जस्ट स्ट्रेस स्ट्रेन व्हॅल्यू विथ मॅक्झिमम व्हॅल्यू then minimum value, like red color shows the maximum stress value and blue color shows the minimum value. In between that yellow green color, like this fashion software shows only the maximum stress region and minimum stress region. Okay, but in actual condition you will see the direct product will be in failure manner. You can observe the here actually that part is fail. Okay, so like this fashion you can just calculate the actual stress strain value, and you can just apply our FEM knowledge into that linear static analysis. So practical application for this first linear static analysis, here we can use, it is mostly commonly used analysis type, all the aeroplane, automotive industry, then civil engineering industries perform the linear static analysis, and for this we are using Nastran software, ANSYS software, Abacus software, Cosmos software, then Unigraphics, Radios, Pro Mechanica. So this is the example of the software here we can use for this linear static analysis. Okay, so this is the first type of the analysis in FEM, and this is the widely used software analysis in near about the aerospace, automotive, and civil engineering application. Okay. Then second type of the analysis is non-linear analysis. Now you can see here, there are two graphs. First graph is for non-metal and second graph is for metal beyond elastic zone. Okay, so in that first graph, you can see just metal non-linearity application, non-metal. So you can just see how the graph is behaves. Like first they are enriching the highest stress, and after that some point they are breakable. Okay, and after that the graph is follows the non-linear nature in downward direction. Okay, in this non-metal beyond the elastic zone. But in for metal beyond elastic zone, you can observe at a certain point the stress value reach maximum value in linear zone and non-linear zone. Once that metal is a failure, that curve is follows the plastic zone, means non-linear graph zone for the metal, and that metal is that software for the non-linear analysis. They are interested in automobile industry, aerospace, ship industries to know the exact value of the stress strain cross yield point for low cycle fatigue analysis, and this data is considered as for the further analysis. Okay, so for basically they are using this type of the analysis where they want to the check the value of the stress strain process the yield point. Okay, for the low cycle fatigue only, not high cycle fatigue. Okay, they are interested only for the low cycle fatigue. For that purpose they are using this type of the analysis for the metal and non-metallic part. So they are also using this automobile aerospace analysis for the fiber component, also rubber and fiber components. and commonly using their software like Abacus, Nastran, ANSYS, LS Dyna for that particular analysis and modeling software. Okay, so this is about the nonlinear analysis. Then next is a dynamic analysis. Now you can just observe there are two main type of the dynamic analysis. One is like free analysis and force analysis. In that first free means just if once you apply the any frequency load on that, they will naturally just create the some frequency values like a natural frequency type. Second forced, in that we have to give external load, so external excitation. In that they are dividing in three types: frequency response, transient response, and random vibration. Okay. So in that frequency, natural frequency, the frequency will which any object will vibrate if disturbed and allowed to vibrate its own frequency without any external force, that is called as natural frequency. And formula for the natural frequency, that is omega n is equal to under root k by m. Okay, so like that we can calculate the natural frequency from the exciting apart. Then a second, that is a frequency response, is a frequency domain where we can interested in only in a frequency. Steady state sinusoidal excitation limited is a linear elastic manner, rotating machinery, unbalanced tires, helicopter blades. In that part, we can calculate the frequency response. If you interested to calculate the frequency from the helicopter blade, so you have to use this dynamic analysis. Then you will get the exact frequency count of the helicopter blade. Okay. Then transience response, it is a time domain. Okay, obvious. It is a arbitrary, well defined in excitation, constant acceleration, force at a given frequency, road excitation. If you find out, if you want to find the excitation from the vehicle's tire on road, you might be seen in the different roads at the mega city. They are just fitting a rota blade on this road, and this is the only purpose of the calculating the frequency of that tires and transient response from that the vehicle tires. Okay, from that we can the just calculate the transient response. Okay, then next is a random vibration. This is the nature of the loading and unloading, usually input in the form of the power spectral density, where you can just measure the mass density, damper, stiffness coefficient, displacement velocity. At that time, we have to find out this random vibration response. Okay. So basically, this type of the analysis we are going to using for the calculating the frequency response, then transient response, and random vibration response. Okay. So I am just giving the introduction part of this different analysis for your just information. We are not going to deep into this different type of the analysis. To for your purpose, you are going to just see the introductory part of the FEM. Okay, we are not going to deep as a subject. FEM is our one of the chapter is in the CAD/CAM CE subject. So we are going to just see the introductory part. Next is a buckling analysis. Now you can just see or imagine in left side one straight bar is there, and upper side we are applying one force, linear force, and after this you can see one image is occurring like after yield stage, after some point that bar is bending. Okay, so like slender beams, sheet metal parts, we are using this type of analysis. If you want to bend a sheet metal part and you can form a new product, then this type you can use this buckling analysis. Okay, you have to use in terms of the slender beams, sheet metal parts. Bending stiffness is a far less than axial stiffness. Okay, in this case we will achieve a bending stiffness is a far less than the axial stiffness, and large lateral deformation is happening. This type of analysis we are going to using used for civil engineering application, and it is used for the mechanical engineering application, and vacuum vessel long gear shifting analysis. Now you might be observing a large truck which is having a gear shifting rod. Okay, so this is the application of the linear buckling analysis. Okay, so in that type we are using this linear buckling analysis. There is one large rod of the gear shifting from the engine to the driver's seat. Okay, so in this type we are using this linear buckling analysis. Then in vacuum vessel also large gear shifting, then civil engineering application, and then for this we are going to using commonly software means that ANSYS, VACUS, and NASTRAN. So you might be just repeatedly heard about these three software: ANSYS, Abacus, and NASTRAN. So these are the some one of the best software for the solving this type of the analysis. Okay, ANSYS is a good. Then Abacus is the next version of this, and NASTRAN is a this means some drawbacks from the ANSYS, so that will be overcome in the NASTRAN software. Okay, so this is the about the buckling analysis. Next, thermal analysis. So in this thermal analysis, you might be seeing in IC engine some mode of the heat transfer. So there are three mode of heat transfer, that is a conduction, convection, and radiation. So in that conduction, we will see in steady state, unsteady state problem in structural and thermal analysis in one dimensional bar of the FEM. Then in convection, natural and forced, whatever that naturally coming frequency, we have to apply the externally. Then radiation, spectral, and diffusion. Okay. So practical application of the thermal analysis, we are going to using this type of the analysis in engine, four-wheeler engine, two-wheeler engine, then radiator, then exhaust system, then heat exchanger, then power plants, satellite design. Like this, there are n number of the application for this thermal analysis. So next is commonly used for the software of this thermal analysis is ANSYS, Abacus, NASTRAN, and NXPath. Okay, so by using this different software, we can easily carry out this thermal analysis for particular given application. Okay, so next analysis is fatigue analysis. Now you can observe from the figure, you will get idea about the life cycle of the product. Okay, we are interested to calculate the lifespan of the our produced part. Okay, suppose I will produce one part in my company, and before selling that part, I will just check the lifespan of that particular product at different condition. Okay, suppose just I am checking that part of the life in n number of cycle at the 10 raised to 5 times. Okay, if you run that product at 10 raised to 5 cycle, before the 10 raised to 5 cycle, that is a low cycle fatigue, and after that high cycle fatigue. So within that low cycle fatigue, your product will be safe, and after that in high cycle fatigue, if your product is a failure, then you can just mention that the lifespan of that product is this to the up to this marks. Okay, so you have to just conclude that further that my product is yes, काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे का? हॅलो, या सर.
हा यस सर.
काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे का?
नाही नाही.
आवाज येतो ना व्यवस्थित?
हा येतो.
Okay, ठीक. If you are just interested to calculate the lifespan of our produced part, then you have to just calculation from the life of the structure when subjected and repetitive load. If your part is carrying the subjective load or repetitive load, then your product lifespan is different. Then that SN curve indicates that the stress and strain value. If you want to the just ensure about the how our cycle lifespan is increased, then you have to just calculate if your product is less than one value, then your product will be safe, means that damage value is less than one and damage value is greater than one, then that product is unsafe. We don't know when and whether that product will be damaged. Okay, so then same like the endurance factor of safety, we have to calculate the factor of safety for the that product. So less than one, that will be fail, and greater than one is safe. Okay, like this, you can just calculate the product cycle, life cycle of that particular model, and practical application to all these components subjected to dynamic load only. Okay, not a static load. Whenever we are applying some dynamic load respect to the time, so that time we have to use this type of the fatigue analysis to calculate the lifespan of that particular model. So all automotive components fatigue accounts in the real life. Commonly you can see in the application like a ball bearing of the vehicle. Okay, so chassis, like this part we can carry out this fatigue analysis. So in this real life example, like commonly uses software EMSC, FEMAT, FESAFE, ALMS. Okay, this type of the software basically using for the calculating the fatigue analysis of the any model. Okay, in dynamic condition only, not we are going to interest in the static loading. Okay. So next, there is an optimization analysis. So basically, optimization means just minimize the error of the problems in that model analysis. Okay, so first of all, we have to work well at an individual level. Then in this optimization, a software cannot add or remove geometry on its. So we have to give some implementation by as a user, so that will be minimize the errors. And then shape optimization. Suppose our result is not going to accurate, so we have to define a correct shape. We have to give produce. We have to define a correct path. Then optimization for geometry parameters work well at individual level only rather than complicated assembly. Okay, don't go for the whole complication assembly. Go for the separate part one analysis. Suppose in one assembly there are 10 parts, so don't go directly for the 10 part analysis. Go for one by one part. First of all, take first part. You have to do the analysis, optimize whether that part is going to correct or not. If correct, then go to the second part. Like this, you have to carry the each part analysis separately, and then you have to collect the all the information at a single point, and then you have to go for the total optimization. That will be better for your optimization analysis. And it is good tool for the innovative kind of the products. Software can give hint for the addition and removal of the geometry. Okay, so software also give for the some additional information or suggestion, like you can say whether then we have to add or remove the material. Then practical application, it is applicable to any computer which is over and under design. Okay, sorry, it is applicable to any component which is over and under design. Means काहीतरी कमी आहे आणि काहीतरी जास्त आहे, अशा मॉडेल्स मध्ये आपण हे ऑप्टिमायझेशन अनालिसिस यूज करू शकतो, जेणेकरून ते डिझाईन आपल्याला ऑप्टिमम करायचं असेल त्यावेळेस. ठीक आहे, आणि याच्यासाठी सॉफ्टवेअर आपण कोणते कोणते यूज करतो? ऑप्टिस्ट्रक्ट, टोस्का, नॅस्ट्रॉन and ANSYS. Okay, so this type of the analysis we are going to using to optimize. The next analysis is a CFD analysis. CFD analysis majorly consists of the fluid analysis. We are going to interested only fluid part. So in static and dynamics. So in static we are going to see this is simple difference between static and dynamic. In static, fluid is rest. In dynamics, motion. Like this, we are interested only basically in CFD, fluid analysis. So a fluid is a substance that continuously deforms under an applied shear stress regardless of the magnitude of the applied stress. Okay, so whatever that gas and liquid both are fluid. So fluid mechanics deals with the study of the fluids, its properties and behavior. So we are interested only in a fluid analysis in the CFD. And basically this analysis we are going to using different application like prediction, combustion chamber design to check an optimum fuel air mixing, aerospace design. Okay, so in internal combustion engine we require the some optimum fuel and air mixture. Okay, For that, we are going to using this CFD analysis, and we are using the CFD expert software, Fluent software. Okay, so these are the software. Here we are going to find out the fluid analysis in CFD analysis. Next is the crash analysis. I think you might know about the in four-wheeler car or vehicle, we are going to test that car with crash analysis. Okay, ज्यावेळेस आपण एखादी कार विकत घ्यायला जातो तर त्याच्यावेळेस आपल्याला एक मॅन्युअल भेटतं. ओके, त्या मॅन्युअल मध्ये सगळी काही त्याची इन्फॉर्मेशन असते. तसंच एखादी कार मॅन्युफॅक्चर केल्यानंतर त्याला सगळ्या ऑड आणि इव्हन कंडिशन मधून फॉलो केल्यानंतरच गव्हर्नमेंट त्यांना लॉन्च करायची परमिशन देतं. एक रूल्स अँड रेग्युलेशन त्यांचे असतात. त्याच्यासाठी आपण कारचं क्रॅश अनालिसिस करतो. ठीक आहे, तर त्याच्यामध्ये 3 बेसिक पार्ट आहेत. इट इज यूज टू फाइंड आउट द डिफॉर्मेशन, stresses and energy absorbing capacity of the various structure component by the fitting stationary and moving object. त्या कारची चॅसिस असेल, बॉडी असेल, तर प्रत्येक पार्टचं आपण डिफॉर्मेशन कुठं होते, किती एनर्जी ऍब्झॉर्ब करू शकते आपला पार्ट गाडीचा, स्ट्रेसेस कुठे जास्त येतात. Then we have to check that all the things in crash analysis, and it is also used to find out the effect of the crash on human body and making the ride safe for the driver as well as the passenger. Okay, the most important part of this analysis, that is we are carrying out the human analysis also in that passenger also. So in mechanical engineering, it is very famous for crash analysis for the calculating the different deformation, stresses and energy absorbing. Okay, so in that first structural crash worthiness, in that we are going to find out the deformation of the car body after the accident, means frontal accident, side accident and over accident. means तुमची गाडी समोरून धडकली असेल, साईडला धडकली असेल किंवा वरून काहीतरी पडलं असेल. या तिन्ही स्ट्रक्चरल अनालिसिस साठी मधून आपण डिफॉर्मेशन, स्ट्रेसेस, एनर्जी ऍब्झॉर्बिंग कॅपॅसिटी, means frontal side, rear, roof and car hindering. Okay, suppose car is hitting on the pole or wall. Okay, किंवा झाडाला धडकली किंवा भिंतीला धडकली तर त्याचं कुठं कुठं जास्त सगळ्यात स्ट्रेस निर्माण झालाय, सगळ्यात जास्त डिफॉर्मेशन कुठल्या पार्टला झालंय. ओके, सो फॉर दॅट पर्पज वी आर गोइंग टू युजिंग दिस क्रॅश अनालिसिस. ओके, सेकंड दॅट इज अ ड्रॉप टेस्ट सिम्युलेशन. ओके, एखादं काहीतरी ऑब्जेक्ट आहे आणि आपण तो वरून खाली फेकतो, जसं की ऍपलचं एक स्टँडर्ड टेस्ट आहे. ते काय करतात की त्यांचा एखादा नवीन मोबाईल लॉन्च व्हायचा असेल तर ते सुरुवातीला त्याचं टेस्टिंग घेताना काहीतरी सर्टन हाईट वरून तो मोबाईल खाली ड्रॉप करतात. तुम्ही युट्यूबवरती व्हिडिओ बघितले असतील ड्रॉप टेस्टचे, इम्पॅक्ट टेस्टचे. तिथे डायरेक्ट वरून खाली मोबाईल टाकतात आणि बघतात की ह्या हाईट वरून जरी आपण मोबाईल खाली टाकला तरी अजून व्यवस्थित चालतोय का नाही. तसंच एक ड्रॉप टेस्ट असते. इन दॅट टेस्ट फ्री टेस्ट द चेक स्ट्रक्चरल इंटिग्रल्स. Okay, so they are going to check only structural integrals, whether that your structure is a break or not. Okay, if you are dropping your mobile on the 100 meter on that height, and if your mobile is a good condition, so that they are saying like that our mobile is good. Okay, like this they are going to testing from some height. And application of this drop test is a black box of an aircraft, massive phones, TVs, fridge. Then some company are testing in TV also, fridge, some part of the aircrafts. Okay, and last that is occupant safety, means our driver and passenger. Okay, so after accident, after any front or side impact on the driver or car, so we have to find the effects of the crash on the human body. ऍक्सिडेंट झाल्यानंतर गाडीवर जसे परिणाम होतात तसे त्या ड्रायव्हरवरती आणि पॅसेंजरवरती काय काय परिणाम होतात ते फाइंड आउट करण्यासाठी आपण हे ऑक्युपंट सेफ्टी अनालिसिस करतो. याचं ऍप्लिकेशन काय, ARAIचं एक सेटअप आहे स्टँडर्ड फॉर द ऑटोमोबाईल इंडस्ट्रीज. ओके, सो ARAI एक स्टँडर्ड गव्हर्नमेंटचं एक सेटअप आहे. त्यांनी एक सेटअप केला आहे की ऑटोमोबाईल इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये सेपरेट ऑक्युपंट सेपरेटच्या अनालिसिससाठी. मग ते फ्रंटल अनालिसिस मध्ये ह्युमनच्या डोक्यावरती किती मार लागलाय, गुडघ्याला किती मार लागलाय, एअर बॅग ओपन झाल्या की नाही झाल्या, झाल्या तर किती इम्पॅक्ट झाला, एअर बॅग ओपन झाल्या नसतील तर किती इम्पॅक्ट झालाय. ओके. त्याला मग स्टमकला किती डॅमेज आलंय, हेडला किती डॅमेज आलंय, ब्लड किती हे झालंय. ओके. Like this, we are going to analyze by using this crash analysis in the occupant safety and commercial application software. We are using LS Dyna, Abacus, Radios, Explicit, okay, and Pancrash. Okay, this type of the analysis software we are going to using for the separate crash analysis. So this is about our crash analysis. Then next is a last type of the analysis, that is a NVH analysis, that is a noise, vibration and harshness. आता तुमचा असा प्रश्न असेल की नॉइज ठीक आहे सर, आवाज येतो गाडीचा जास्त झाला असेल तर, व्हायब्रेशन पण येतात सर, एखादा काहीतरी पार्ट ही झालं लूज झालं आणि तिथे चालू रनिंग कंडिशन मध्ये व्हायब्रेट होतो आपल्याला, पण सर हे हार्शनेस काय कोणती टर्म आहे की जी हार्शनेस आपण कशी डिफाइन करू शकतो. ओके. सो बेसिकली इन अवर इंडस्ट्री, इन अवर CAD/CAM CA era or in automobile industry, we are going to calculate the noise, vibration as well as the harshness. Harshness is one of the just arbitrary concept, means hypothetical concept. Actually we are not going to calculate this harshness term. Still now no one is prove that harshness term in a physical manner. Okay. So only the hypothetical term is there, like harshness. In automobile industry we are calculating the how much our vehicle is creating a noise in decibel level, vibration, but we are unable to calculate in physical manner that harshness term. So first of all, you just keep in mind that harshness is a hypothetical term. Okay. So in that NVH analysis, we are going to find out the two types, that is a sound radiation, uncoupled problems, and interaction between structure and fluid cavity. Okay. So in that first, that sound radiation and uncoupled problems, we have to predict how much sound pressure level is felt by vibrating source at a certain distance as a function of the solid angle. Okay. सपोज एखादं एक्झाम्पल सांगतो तुम्हाला मी, एखादा हॉर्न किंवा सायलेन्सर असेल बुलेटचा किंवा आपण हॉर्न वाजवतो, तर तो सायलेन्सर व्हायब्रेटिंग ॲट अ सर्टन डिस्टन्स, इट इज सॉल्व्ड बाय बाउंड्री एलिमेंट मेथड. ओके. एखादा गाडीचा कोणतरी हॉर्न वाजवलाय किंवा सायलेन्सर असा खूप आवाज देतोय आणि तो किती अंतरापर्यंत आपल्याला ते व्हायब्रेट होते किंवा जाणवते आपल्या कानावरती, तर हे सगळं कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी आपण एक बाउंड्री एलिमेंट मेथड नावाचं एक टेक्निक यूज करतो, ज्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला ते अंतरावरून त्या व्हेकलच्या सायलेन्सरच्या आणि साऊंडचं आपण फ्रिक्वेन्सी कॅल्क्युलेट करू शकतो. ठीक आहे. So this is about the sound radiation and uncoupled problems. Then next, that is interaction between structure and fluid cavity. So example, noise levels felt at driver's right ear due to engine vibration. In idle condition, it is solved by the FEM. Okay. जर गाडी सुरू आहे in static condition, it is not in dynamic condition, so whatever noise coming from that vehicle and that felt from driver's right side, okay, and left side is a different. Okay. So whatever that condition, right to left side, so we have to calculate that noise level from the driver's right ear and left ear. So in that condition, you are going to using, we are going to using FEM software for the calculating the that noise level. Okay. And for that practical application, driver's feet, that is a brake pedal. Okay. At that times also we are going to using this type of the analysis. Then mirror mounts on the vehicle's steering column, seats, commonly using software LMS, virtual labs, MATLAB, SYS noise. Okay. Like this, we are going to using a different types of the software for the solving the noise and vibration problems in the FEM. Okay. So this is about the types of the analysis in FEM. So we'll see just a recap of this. We have seen the, I think, 9 different types of the analysis. In that, first linear, then non-linear, then dynamic, then buckling, thermal, fatigue analysis, optimization, CFD, crash, and NVH. Okay. So from university question paper, they are asking the 7-mark question on this point. explain the different types of the analysis in FEM, finite element method. So we have to write at least 4 types of analysis. Just we have to enlist this all types of the analysis, and we have to explain the 4 types of the analysis for the 7 marks. Okay. 7 मार्कला क्वेश्चन विचारला तर हे सगळ्या टाईपची नावं लिहायची आणि ऍटलीस्ट 4 टाईपचे एक्सप्लेनेशन रिक्वायर्ड आहे. ठीक आहे. सो फॉर टुडेज लेक्चर this is sufficient. We will see the remaining part of this chapter in next lecture. So before going to end this lecture, I want to say today we have completed the chapter number 2. Okay, yes, correct. So whatever that's from 2nd chapter, so I will create one quiz on the 2nd chapter, and after this lecture I will send that link of that quiz on the WhatsApp group. So we have to just complete that quiz today only, okay, before 10 p.m. Okay, so it is mandatory for the taking the attendance also. So I will count as your attendance for the lecture, today's lecture. If you attend that quiz, so I will count as your attendance. Okay, so that will beneficial for your understanding purpose of the chapter number 2. So after this lecture or before 4 p.m. I will send the link of the quiz on the chapter number 2, that is computer graphics and geometric modeling. Okay. So I request Yasar, please stop the recording.